Magic the Gathering.
Magic, 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 I'm so magic.
Gathering magic.
Spend a lot of money on cards.
Playing cool cards with my friends.
Playing all so magic.
We're all winners in the end.
Hello and welcome to Wild Dogs Podcast, a show inspired mostly by our love for the game known as Magic the Gathering, but also inspired by our current love of whatever is happening in our lives this week as we're recording. And I'm your host, Leland. With me here today is our other co-host, Luke.
Hello, everyone.
And yeah, thanks for stopping by, hanging out with us, and listening to us ramble on about all things Magic.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So before we jump into our topic, which is the least popular commanders that we love, let's talk news.
Some housekeeping.
Some housekeeping, if you will. First, just another quick shout. Thanks for your support on episode 0, our intro episode. Means a lot. Definitely drop us a follow on our socials. Reach out to us on Discord. Feel free to join the conversation there. And yeah, we're excited for 2024. Wild Dogs.
Heck yeah. Also, for the record, those of you who listen to episode 0, you're getting in on the ground floor. Okay, you're an OG member. We love you more than everybody else who jumped on the bandwagon on episode 100 or whatever.
Yeah,
you're a real one if you listen to episode 0 when it came out. Just want to let you know that.
Yeah, episode 100. That could be a year, could be 2 years from now. Who knows what our pacing is going to look like? I think
10.
I think ideally we shoot for a couple a month. We're gonna try it every other week.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe we, bump it up. We do weekly. Maybe we bump it down. We do once monthly. But right now we're gonna try to shoot for at least 2 a month. As we're settling into things here. But yeah, thanks for supporting us, and it's gonna be a wild ride with the Wild Dogs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, our plan is that we have no plan.
Yeah, pretty much.
But thank you for being here, regardless.
Yes. In other news, Luke and I got some new decks, and not just commander decks. We both got 2 lists each, one for Legacy, one for Pauper.
Yes.
Luke put 8 cast in Legacy together. We got that in paper, and I did Selesnya lands. We tested those bad boys out.
So much fun.
It's awesome.
Guys, if you've never played Legacy, it feels like it's like Magic in its purest form in a weird way. I know maybe like people are cringing at that, but like it's a lot of fun. And it's and like people joke that like Legacy is like, oh, you die on turn 1, like LOLs. But it's like, no, it's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I was a big fan. I was surprised by how much I liked it.
Yeah, and this is my second list. I also have a Reanimator list in paper, and yeah, our buddy Taylor came over. He's our sensei when it comes to Legacy. He walked us through our decks as we were, as we start to learn them, and we got some really fun matches in. It's getting us both really excited to play Legacy out in the wild. Put our skills to the test a little bit.
Wait, when you say in the wild, what are we talking about?
Mostly just going down to the old Mana Vault.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I forgot about
The old LGS and play with some Legacy homies down there.
Yeah.
So
I forgot. Yeah, for those not in the know, there's like a Legacy community in our area.
Yeah.
So
So soon enough we'll put our Legacy skills to the test, or lack thereof. But it is really fun, kind of learning a new format. And we also got Pauper decks. So I did Mogwarts, which is a classic Goblin combo deck, red-black combo, where basically the goal is to get a certain pairing of goblins on the battlefield, produce infinite red mana, and kill your opponent with a couple of different ways, a couple of different payoffs to pump all that red mana into. Yeah.
Was this your own creation, or like did you grab it from like an online?
No, there are plenty of lists online for this deck, but there have been updates recently with the latest sets.
Okay.
So this is like a classic deck. This deck has been around for a while, but with cards like Deadly Dispute. I think even probably the most recent card is from Wilds of Eldraine. It's called it's like something Grim Search. Hold on a second. Yeah, Rowan's Grim Search.
That looks so cool.
And so this deck really leans into utilizing artifact sacrificing, so like Chromatic Star, Ichor Wellspring, which are artifacts that when they get sacrificed or hit your graveyard, you draw a card. So you play cards like Deadly Dispute and Rowan's Grim Search, which have Bargain, or in Deadly Dispute's case, you have to sack an artifact as well to draw cards. And Rowan's Grim Search is especially good for 2 and a black at instant speed, or it's an instant. It has Bargain, so you can sack an artifact, enchantment, or token to get an additional effect, which is if the spell was Bargain, look at the top 4 cards of your library, then put up to 2 of them back on top of your library in any order, and the rest into your graveyard. Then you draw 2 cards and lose 2 life.
Okay.
So what this does is we bargain an Ichor Wellspring, which when that sacks, you draw a card right away, and then you get to basically, you dig into your library at least 4 cards deep. If you don't like any of them, you put them all in the bin, and then you draw 2 more cards. So for 3 mana, you basically get to look at 6 cards. So if you're at a point where you can combo off and get the win, and you're just digging for your win con, this allows you to dig 6 cards deep, which is extremely good. And if you bargain, you get the extra. So 6 or 7 cards.
It sounds awesome.
Is huge. So
and Pauper, 6 or 7 cards.
6 or 7 cards for an infinite combo. So and it's goblins. So of course this is the deck I had to put in paper for our Pauper matchups.
Dude, that sounds so much fun.
Yeah. I know you did it's kind of like a mono blue Delver Tolarian Terror list, right?
Yeah. It's so I just basically looked at 2 deck lists that I liked, and I kind of like Reese's it. Like I put them together. So like I don't know if this is gonna be good at all, but so basically the idea is that like so we have big creatures like Cryptic Serpent and Tolarian Terror, which basically have abilities where it's like, hey, this costs 1 less for every instant and sorcery in your graveyard. And so my whole goal is to get instants and sorceries in my graveyard. All my instants and sorceries are like, draw a card, put something in the graveyard. And then also I put Delver in there because, for the culture, like it's also just a great 1-drop that if there is a instance or sorcery at the top of my graveyard, then I get to gets to turn over and be the flying bigger creature. So then also I put in Murmuring Mystic in this deck as well, just because I like that card.
Okay. What is Murmuring Mystic?
It's whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you create a 1/1 bird token.
Oh, classic, which was just downshifted to common in Commander Masters. So,
really? Okay.
Yeah. It's new to Pauper, which is pretty sweet.
I was not aware of that. Okay. There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, that's so those are our new decks that we put together. Got some Pauper, got some Legacy going. And then of course we've got our Commander decks that we're constantly working on. I also want to build a Judge's Tower this year. That's another deck that I've got going. Right now I'm shooting for, right now I'm sitting at around 250, I think 250 cards right now. I think I like that number. Maybe I'll go up, maybe I'll go down.
Is there like a set, like a suggested size?
Not necessarily. So that's the fun thing about Judge's Tower is you can kind of, it's not like a official format or anything like that. It's just a fun, goofy way of playing the game. And so for those unfamiliar with the format, it's basically you can have it be 1v1. It's typically 1v1, but you could also do 4-player if you're feeling kind of crazy with it. But you basically, no one has lands. We all play from a tower, one singular deck. So 250 cards all in one deck. And they're all just ridiculous cards. So cards that maybe aren't particularly good in any constructed format, but the effects are like rules nightmares. And so everyone has infinite mana and infinite life. The only way you lose is if you miss a trigger on something. So the idea is you need to activate at least one. I think you need to activate all of the like effects on any given permanent during your turn at least once.
Interesting.
And if you miss that trigger, someone else can call you out on it. And if it's like, oh, I did miss that, then you lose.
Wow.
So it's not
Okay.
it's not about, and if you can attack, you have to attack. But again, life doesn't matter. But you basically it's like a way of testing your knowledge of the rules of the game. So it can get pretty hectic. It's pretty fun. It's I don't know. It just seems really fun to me. So I want to put together a judge's tower. There are a couple really great lists out there, but I'm gonna throw in a few cards of my own, newer cards that I think, haven't seen judges tower lists before.
Okay.
And then I also want to build a commander sideboard. So for 4-player games, rather than it just being 4-player off the same judges tower, I kind of want to do there'll be a judges tower, the main deck, and there'll also be a sideboard commander deck. So during each person's turn, you draw a commander and also a card. So each turn you'll have a new legendary creature. Every person will have a new legendary creature to worry about.
That's crazy.
So I don't know. It seems like kind of a fun addition, and that'll be the 4-player variant. So if we're just playing 1v1, we run the standard 250 list. But if we're running 4-player, it's 250 list plus the sideboard.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Deck as
And it's
well.
all legendary creatures.
Yeah, it'll just be all commanders and like probably a bunch of bad ones.
Okay. Yeah. Some bulk.
Some bulk bin commanders, and they'll be intentionally selected to have like difficult abilities to track or just add to the headache of the judges tower format. So that's another project I've kind of got brewing in the background as well.
Oh, that's hilarious. That sounds really fun, actually.
Yeah, should be super fun. Then we also have updates on the boys. I know you made a note here that you gave up whaling. Can you let's fill us in a little bit about giving up whaling.
I'm glad you asked. So, guys, 2024, your boy Luke here is we're turning over a leaf. We're making a change for the better, and that change is that I'm done whaling. I've sold. You can ask Leland. I've sold all. I have like 2 decks, commander decks that I like playing. I have my legacy deck. I got my pauper deck. I'm done whaling. I'm done buying packs. I'm done buying, thick packs or whatever they're called whenever a new set comes out. I'm not. It's very fun. I love opening packs. I love being like, ooh, maybe I'll get that card that I really want. Instead, I'm just gonna buy the card I want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying singles, guys. Professor Tolarian talks about it all the time. I'm just buying singles. I'm not buying packs. I'm not whaling. I'm not doing any of that anymore. We're turning over a new leaf. I'm done spending money on this game unless I want to. Guys, it got so bad. I would go to Target and then I would just pick up a pack. I didn't even want it. Like I would literally go to Target and I just like look at, and by the way, that all the stuff at Target, like, how they have like a little like card game section that, at least this is what I've heard, is that you don't even know if the stuff you're getting is real. Like there's been times where like people have opened up those little boxes and like someone stole all the packs out of it and stuff. So I'm done whaling. 2024. It's on the books.
I can respect that. It's something that I'm also trying to cut back on too.
Yeah.
We literally, in my office here where we're recording, we're looking at, I cut my collection in half. I went through my entire collection and cut like literally thousands of cards that I just will never play.
Yeah.
And like just don't need, like, I love collecting Magic. Don't get me wrong, but I do not need 30 plus commons from at least 30 plus commons from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms that are just going to sit in a box. You know what I mean? So yeah, cut back pretty significantly. I'm going to go just drop it off at the LGS and be like, yeah, give me store credit. I'll take a pack of cards for this bulk, not expecting any sort of big returns on this. I just need it.
That's what I did too.
Out of my life a little bit. But yeah, no, I can respect that. I definitely also fall into the trap of feeling like I need to spend money on every new set. Like I need to get the bundle box or whatever, the fat pack. And I also definitely want to cut back on those expenses as well. And like you said, buying singles is the best way of just getting cards you're going to play rather than buy a pack, spend, 8, and now price of packs is going up. So now we spend $10 on a pack of cards, open it up, bulk rare. Sweet.
Yeah.
So now I've got 15 cards that do not matter at all.
Yep.
Oh, I got like a foil common. Cool. Not going to use that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, for the record, listeners at home, I got a haircut before we recorded here, and my barber likes Magic the Gathering too. And we were actually talking about this exact same thing about how the price of packs went up.
Yep.
And he's like in the same mindset as us, where he's like, well, you know what? Like, I know I know it's only a couple bucks. What is it? Like, it's like $2 more expensive or something like that.
Yeah, something like
I mean,
that.
I'm sure that like, things will fluctuate, but he's like, yeah, I'm done buying packs. I'm done buying fat. Like, I'm just going to buy the specific cards I want because like before, like, oh, it's $5, whatever. I'm at Target. I'll just get a pack. But now it's like, do I really want to spend $8 like on a pack? Like, I don't know. So we'll see what happens. We'll play it by ear. But yeah, 2024, Wild Dogs is done whaling. We're not whaling for cards anymore. We're just gonna buy the ones we need. And also on that note too is like we're a proxy. This is a proxy friendly household. Who we play with. We're not going to tournaments. We're not doing anything like that. And so I actually foresee myself and many of us just printing out proxies. Like I found out that my printer at home can print on any card stock. So potentially I could just make whatever cards I want at home and then sleeve them and then, play with Leland the next day. So another cost-effective object. We're not in a recession, but we're in a recession. And here we go. No more whaling. 2024.
All right, editor Leland here in post. Since our comments about whaling, literally the day after we recorded, on my way home from the gym, I picked up, of course, naturally, 3 more packs of Ravnica Remastered, 3 more draft boosters. So I figured let's open them up on the podcast. Why not? So let's see what we got. We got 3 packs here. Hopefully I get something better than just anime art Tomic. So let's get right in. All right, pack 1. Got a Rhino token. Boros Signet, not bad. Playable. Ooh, a Hallowed Fountain. All right, so right away, we've already done much, much better than my first 3 packs. So yeah, we'll take Shocklands all day, every day. Got a Sky Hussar, Utopia Sprawl, another super playable card. A Mayhem Devil, classic PDH commander. And then we'll hit the commons here. I'm just gonna scroll through these quick. We don't need to take a deep dive into the commons really, but okay. Coiling Oracle at the end there. Not too shabby. So pack 1, pretty good. Hallowed Fountain, we'll take that. Pack 2 here. Let's see what happens. All right, so we've got a Sapperling token. Saurius Guildgate. And then, we got our first foil. It's a foil Tulsimir Wolfblood. Pretty cool. So 4 green, white, 3/4. Other green creatures you control get +1/+1. Other white creatures you control get +1/+1. And then you can tap it to create Voha, a legendary 2/2 green and white wolf creature token. Another Azorius Guildgate. This one's the retro. And then we have another rare in this pack, a Tajik, Legion's Edge. Pretty cool. 1 red and a white for a 3/2 human soldier with haste and mentor. Prevent all non-combat damage you would be dealt, or prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control. And then for red and white, Tajik gains first strike until end of turn. Not too bad. Then for uncommons, we got Demon Fire, to Arms, and a Mistral Charger. Commons, nothing too crazy. We got a Persistent Petitioners. I know that's kind of a sought after common. And that kind of does it for pack 2. So pack 3 here. Let's see if we can get another Shockland. That would be nice. Starting off with an Elf Knight token. Gruul Guildgate. Is it Charm? retro border. Kind of cool. A Cloudstone Curio. Okay, that's actually pretty good too. This is a mythic. So it's an artifact for 3 mana. Whenever a non-artifact permanent enters the battlefield under your control, you may return another permanent you control that shares a permanent type with its owner to hand. It's kind of cool little blink effect. I mean, we'll take mythics all day. Not too shabby. For uncommons, we have Orzhov Enforcer, a Lightning Helix. We take those. And Devouring Light. Uncommons, Fist of Ironwood. Not too bad for PDH. And yeah, that kind of does it. So much better than my first 3 packs of Ravnica Remastered. Obviously, we got the Shockland here, the Hallowed Fountain, blue-white. Nothing too crazy there, but Cloudstone Curio, Tajik Legion's Edge, and then the foil Tolsimir Wolfblood. So much better 3 packs than my first 3 packs. Anyways, back to the show. So yeah, that's updates on us. Let's look at news from the source, from Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
Right up top, we've got the AI artwork scandal.
Artwork gate, if you will.
Artwork gate. Do you want to enlighten us a little bit? Obviously, it's been a couple weeks now. This isn't hot news, but it is something worth talking about, I think.
Well, I learned about it like 2 days ago. So so it was news to me. But yeah, apparently, well, not apparently, it's been proven. Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast put out a bunch of artwork and to promo, I think it was like the new Ravnica set, right? It was Ravnica? Okay. Well, yeah, they made all this new artwork, and everybody was like, yo, you're using AI artwork. And then the official Wizards account was like, no, we would never do that. We pay artists. And then everybody, and even like Twitter's like algorithm, I don't even know. What is it called? It's called like Grok, I think.
I have no idea.
That's
Could
it.
not tell
Okay.
you.
I don't know. But Twitter's like, I don't know, AI detection detected the artwork as AI. And then they came back and were like, oh, we're sorry. Like we would never lie on purpose to our people that follow us. And so they just got busted. And I mean, both Leland and I work in industries that are heavily affected by AI and, outside of, in our work lives. And I'm sure he's got some opinions. I got some opinions on AI generated stuff. But at the end of the day, it just, it's funny to us to laugh about it. But like, hey, just remember that was someone that, someone did make that artwork. Someone didn't get paid for that work. It was a subscription to, either Adobe's like, or what you said, Canva has one too.
Yeah, which I've been messing around with a little bit for, both for work and just for personal, fun, goofy projects. And I think there's a more serious conversation to be had here that we don't have to really get into this here in depth. But yeah, like you were saying, both of our jobs, both of our industries, we're both in 2 completely different industries, are being impacted by AI. And I think we all obviously are going to need to adapt and accept. There's a certain level of acceptance we all need to embrace with this is the future. This is where companies are going to invest their money into. Like these types of these types of programs are going to be a part of the future for like labor in general.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that's also going to affect artists. And I think that's where a lot of people are seeing this impact immediately, because AI image and video generation is fascinating and to some extent impressive. The quality of imagery we can see and generate with simple prompts within a matter of seconds. It's
like 93% good.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what
I
mean?
think that
Like-
percentage is good because, like I was saying before, I was playing around with this for creating custom Wild Dog sleeves just as a joke, and I came up with something pretty interesting. Like they turned out good. Obviously, the art isn't super refined, and if you zoom in, you really look at all the details. It's like, oh yeah, this was generated by AI for sure. But if for a quick little goofy project, hey, am I gonna, approach a contractor, an artist, digital artist, pay them a large sum of money and then wait on a product for a couple weeks, or am I just going to use my keyboard to type into an AI software, get this pumped out within a matter of minutes, be like, yeah, that serves my purposes, we're fine, let's move forward.
Yeah.
So, and then for me, I'm a writer, I'm an editor. Like, I personally, with work, I use a lot of AI software for both editing and writing. That is, it just comes with the territory now. And young writers, young aspiring writers are going to have to, like, that's a totally different ball game. You know what I mean? Like, from
I couldn't even imagine being
like from when we went to school, which was not that long ago.
No.
The curriculum now is going to be nuts.
Yeah.
And it's something that, like, we probably will have to, like I personally am doing, like, small, like, kind of AI training courses, or like you have to do research to know how to, like, effectively use this stuff.
Yeah.
So kids they're of course they're going to get, an education about how to write or how to paint or how to whatever, but they also, that's half of it, maybe not even half of what they're going to have to learn to be a creative mind in the modern workforce. It's crazy. But anyways, let's bring it back down to Magic. Let's not get so serious. This isn't
at the end of the day, though. Like, we got to remember, guys, Wizards lied to us.
Yeah.
Like, can we go back to that?
A grand point.
Like, no, we would never do that. And then we're like, dude, everybody says this is AI artwork. You're failing every AI artwork test here. They're like, oh, sorry, our bad. Yeah, we lied to you guys. Whoops.
Mobby.
Yeah.
Mobby.
So that was really the whole point of this, is just Wizards
point.
looked us in the eyes and lied to us. Never forget that.
Never forget. But yeah, it's, I don't know. And I saw there were a couple artists, or one artist in particular, I forget their name, but a long, they've worked with Wizards for a long time, have a lot of iconic art. I wish I would have put a pin in this to give them the proper cred. But there was an artist that spoke out and was like, yeah, I've worked with Wizards a good chunk of my professional career, and because of this, I don't think I can do it.
No
and
way.
They're stepping back.
I didn't know that.
I'm sure multiple artists feel the same way. So shout out to all the artists that contribute to the cards we love, the art we love as a whole for Magic.
It was Dave Raposa.
Dave Raposa.
He's quit because of the use of AI. Oh, he made Blanca.
Yeah, so it looks like Dave Raposa's done a lot of the Universes Beyond stuff. He did a lot of artwork for the Lord of the Rings. I know he did some like the panoramic things, the panoramic multi-card, images. But yeah, he's done, according to Scryfall, 69 cards for Magic the Gathering, including one of my favorites, Nahiri, or the Ancients. It's in my Astor deck. Cackling Counterpart. It's a classic Karkashima deck.
Dude, he did Thoughtscored?
Yeah.
Wow.
Skin Render. It's another... this was in my zombie deck for a little bit when I was just digging through bins. More recent stuff from Baldur's Gate, the Zevlor Commander, the Tiefling Warrior. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a big one. He's done a lot of really, really cool work for Wizards, and just stepping back. So I think it's, again, our big point here is, I hope this is a little bit of a wake up call for Wizards, and they kind of, step up their game, or at least, in their statement that they made since, kind of stand by that statement and stand by the artists that make this game as special as it is.
Yeah. Just sad to see a friend die, sad to see someone go.
In later news, let's talk some of the new sets. We've got Ravnica Remastered, which just dropped, and then Murders at Karlov Manor, which is a bunch of previews just came out. So first, let's start with Ravnica Remastered. How do you feel about it? What are your thoughts?
Do people care? Because, like, I'm hearing a lot of stuff about the Shocklands. There's a lot of people are excited about that. Some people are upset that it's like readily available, and I've heard people like 2 people from my work, like they had Shocklands in their first pack that they opened and they were excited. But outside of that, I'm not really seeing a lot of like, I have no like, dog in the race here because I wasn't really excited for this set. I wasn't like unexcited for it either. I was
Sure.
pretty middle of the road. But I'm not seeing a lot of people. I'm not seeing a lot of excitement like people had for Dominaria Remastered.
Yeah, I think I feel the same way. I mean,
Okay.
obviously having the big money cards in a set be lands is, not it's not the best. Like I love,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, I love my fetches, my duels. Shocklands are awesome, and I think it's really cool that they got a reprint. They really needed one. I do think the prices are going to go down tremendously just because there are so many printings. Obviously, some of the more sought after, higher end printings of these cards they're probably going to retain their value to some extent. But like, hopefully we see shocks in that $10 or less ballpark after this,
Yeah.
which is something they desperately needed. Beyond lands, they're really, like you were saying, there really isn't a ton here. Off top, obviously Cyclonic Rift being another big chase card. For me, Guardian
Oh, yeah,
Project
that's a big
is a
one.
big one. But yeah, they're just like not a ton here that we haven't
The
haven't
Birds
seen
of
already.
Paradise I think of is in the set. So that's, I mean,
Yeah.
but then again, Birds of Paradise has been printed so many
Yeah.
times. It's like not.
Again, this is a shout out to Marcelo Vignali. Episode 0, we went into his whole career with Hotel Transylvania and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Spark Double's cool. But seeing Spark Double go down to like, just a few bucks, that's really cool.
Did they reprint Niv Mizzet?
Niv Mizzet, yeah, we've got the anime Niv Mizzet,
Dude,
which is
come
pretty.
on.
I
Why are
think
we doing that?
I think it's pretty sweet. But no, an old border Niv Mizzet, a foil old border Niv Mizzet is probably going to cost just a few bucks. Definitely picking up one of those.
Yeah.
I think the most exciting thing for me about these remastered sets is the old border printing. I just am such a sucker for the old border. So getting shocks in old border, stuff like Cyclonic Rift. I think that's, for me at least, that's the highlight, is seeing some of these newer cards in the old border treatment.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I picked up a few draft packs on release. I didn't pull anything at all.
Okay.
I think I got like the anime Tomic, I think is his name. He's not a high value card at all. He's I think he's like a Stax. Let me see here. I think he's like a Stax D&T. Yeah. So distinguished Tomic, distinguished advocist. I got this one, the anime version.
Wow.
So for 2 white, so white, you get a 2/3 legendary human advisor with flying. Lands on the battlefield and land cards in graveyards can't be the targets of spells or abilities your opponents control. And your opponents can't play land cards from graveyards. So it's a hate piece. It's what it is. So nothing too exciting. This is a card that, it's funny. I think I've cracked maybe like 2-3 packs of War of the Spark in my life, and I cracked 2 Tomics. Like, so I already
They're just giving this guy
they're
out,
just
honestly.
giving this guy out. So I mean, that's saying a lot about what I cracked in my 3 Ravnica Remastered draft packs. Is my highlight was this anime Tomic, which I already have
that's rough.
2 copies of. But yeah, I mean, to our point earlier, like I think that's it. Typically, I'd be interested in buying. I think draft boosters of this set. Please, people, wait at least 6 to 8 months. It's gonna be cut down by at least.
Or just don't wail. Guys, we already talked about this. Just get the singles.
Yeah, no, but if you're looking to draft this set, do it
okay.
now because it's hot and that's fun. But if you don't need to draft this set, or you don't need to play limited Ravnica Remastered, we'll just wait half a year.
Yeah.
These boxes are going to be 120-ish, 120, 140. They're not going to be at the like 200 mark that they're at right now. I think I already saw them dropping down to like 180.
Mm-hmm.
Just give it a bit, because the same thing happened with Dominaria Remastered.
Yeah, because I think those are at like $110 or something like that.
If that, I think at release I picked up a box for
108.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that set was so much fun to draft too.
Yeah, it was fun. We
So-
did a draft at release, which was sweet. I think the draft environment, or the limited environment for Ravnica Remastered looks fun, and I'd like to do this draft with our play group, but not for the price point it's at right now. I think we wait on it. If it happens, it happens. If we
We'll
can
come back in a year.
we'll
and
come
play
back in a year, we'll see how much it costs and take it from there. But yeah, that's my take on Ravnica Remastered.
Yeah. I think Ravnica, what's funny, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe I'm just talking out of my butt here, but like for me the setting was always really cool and like the guilds was cool, but like I can't tell you like any individual cards from Ravnica sets that like get me excited.
Sure.
Like Dominaria for sure. There are a lot of Dominaria, but also that's like an OG like plane. But I don't know. Like, but then again, I mean, I play like green and blue, so like there's not really a ton. I don't know. Maybe that's just me personally. I'm sure there's probably gonna be other people in the comments that are like pissed off. They're like, dude, that was my favorite set ever. What are you talking about?
Well,
Yeah.
I think to your point that the tricky thing about Ravnica is there's just so much of it. Like I think I forget how, and again this is before I started playing, but Ravnica's split into like literally like 3 blocks,
Yeah.
and then yeah, War of the Spark is like there's literally like 10 different sets
Mm-hmm.
worth of Ravnica.
Yeah.
So this is like the curation. In my mind, this is their approach to a curation of the best cards from Ravnica. And again, I don't really have the knowledge or the history with Ravnica to really speak on that. I do think they did a great job though. Like there are a lot of cards in here that I don't know, I think speak to the quality of Ravnica as a whole. I think they did kind of best of. Like, I do think they did it right. Like you do have your Niv Mizzet. Mayhem Devil is a classic for PDH that I love. They've got staples like Chromatic Lantern. You've got your Pithing Needle, Hellkite Tyrant.
I guess Nicol Bolas, that's like the boy, right? Wasn't this like the plane like that he arrived on?
Yeah. I don't know. Again, the lore I'm not too sure on, but
Okay.
I think they definitely did it right. But yeah, not a set I need to spend a bunch of money on.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say though, for the record, like I do like the idea of these remastered sets.
Yeah.
Like I like this. I like this. I'd even be fine too if like they're, I'd also be fine as well if they just re-released old sets. I'd be okay with that. Like very old sets.
Interesting.
Like Lorwyn. You said, you want to buy a box of that. Like what if they just literally reprinted the Lorwyn set?
See, the issue I think we run into there is the 30th anniversary conundrum, where they were like, hey, here's alpha beta, but it's $1,000 for like 3 packs.
Yeah.
I don't want them to like
No,
pull that
not like
shenanigans.
that. But and I'm not saying like go that far back, but
Right, but I'm just saying Wizards, their track record right now is not showing that they're interested in giving players like a class experience like that. I mean, obviously, we just talked about Ravnica Remastered feeling like a really good curation and a good shout out to kind of this old setting for Magic. But I don't think Wizards would ever really entertain the idea of doing like, with the exception of like Arena, like they do. I think they just did Khans of Tarkir, where they did a big limited online release where you can go and actually experience that draft format. I don't see them basically reprinting booster boxes of old sets like whatsoever, because it's such like it would be a cash grab thing where it not to the extent of 30th anniversary, but it would definitely be like, oh, you want Lorwyn packs? Like here's Lorwyn with the new frame, the new border. You get a bundle for $100. Like, you know what I mean? It would be these new play boosters. You get 8 to 10 of them. in a fat pack for $100. And it's like, well, can't really draft that, can't really do anything with it.
No.
It's just for like the collectability thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I would love that. But I don't think Wizards.
They're not down for that.
Yeah, they're like, we're trying to make some money.
Yeah, wait, we want to make a lot of money.
And the second, I don't think they care so much about. I mean, they care about the secondary market, but yeah, I don't know if this is in the
Yeah,
cards.
probably not. No.
I'd love it so much though. Oh my gosh, if they just straight up just started printing booster boxes of Lorwyn,
Yeah.
Shadowmoor.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, moving on from Ravnica Remastered to New Magic, Murders at Karlov Manor. We just got a ton, and I mean a ton of previews over the last week. So yeah, cards that I've seen so far from the previews that I think are interesting include, maybe unsurprisingly, the legendary creatures.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I think my current favorite card that I've seen is actually, it's a Simic card. It's a blue-green legendary creature that I never thought in my lifetime we'd see a blue-green creature that
you were
I
into?
would care for at all.
Okay.
And unfortunately, it's also the perfect card for arcades, which you
Which I
you took
killed.
apart, killed him. And it was like just before the perfect arcades card came out.
Yeah, wait, what is this?
It's the Pride
Okay.
of Whole Clade. For 10 and a green, you get a 2/15 crocodile elk turtle.
That's so specific.
This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total toughness of creatures you control. So
It's
yeah,
basically free.
it's basically free in a Defender tribal deck. It's got Defender, naturally. And then for 2 blue, you can, until end of turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw cards equal to its toughness and can attack as though it didn't have Defender. So kind of a new take
Yeah.
on, because Arcades cares about, it deals damage, I guess, with the tail end. It deals damage with the toughness.
This feels like a better arcades.
I think it's more interesting. I think it's really
Yeah.
cool. It's Simic, so obviously get it going infinite with blue mana to basically repeatedly, because it's not 2 blue tap, it's just 2 blue. So you can activate this ability as many times as you'd like during your turn.
Yeah.
So if you can go infinite, and of course that's where my mind goes
Okay.
as like a combo player. It's like,
I'm like, how am I gonna play this? 10 is kind of expensive. That's where I was thinking.
I was like, how do we go infinite with our mana to just one shot everyone? And
Yeah.
go infinite with this, give it unblockable, and then kill someone, draw 15 cards. Like that's where my mind goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think this is really cool. The art is awesome. It looks like a dragon. I mean, yeah, it's a crocodile elk turtle, but it looks like, I don't know. It's just, it looks like this weird turtle dragon thing.
No, I think it looks awesome.
So I don't know. This is my current favorite card we've seen.
And this definitely feels like a better arcades. Like, I mean, okay, more fun. Maybe not better, but like a more fun to play arcades.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the arguably the best common card for PDH, Pick Your Poison,
Okay.
came out. For 1 green at sorcery speed,
Oh, that's
Pick Your Poison is a sorcery for 1 green. You get to choose one. Each opponent sacrifices an artifact, or each opponent sacrifices an enchantment, or each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. So the amount of like utility you have with this card is kind of crazy. And I think this is, a lot of people like to throw around the term multi-format all-star, but I think this genuinely is playable in, I mean, for 1 mana, it kind of it has the ability to shut down a lot of different archetypes.
Yeah.
So this sitting in a sideboard of even like a legacy deck, let alone a pauper deck.
I put this in like a commander deck. Like,
yeah,
in the 100.
See, that's the thing is just 1 green is just, I think that's like the cherry on top here is it's modal. You've got 3 like modes to choose from that each have their own effect. And obviously, yeah, it being each opponent, this is great for Commander. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's perfect for PDH. You know, I don't see this, like, I don't see a future where this isn't considered a green staple
Yeah.
in PDH. If you got a green deck, this just kind of like goes in that deck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think this is the best common we've seen in a long time.
I'm very surprised that's common.
Yeah, I just think it's extremely good, and that's the cost. Like we've seen stuff like Return to Nature, like a lot of these modal like choose. You can either destroy an artifact or an enchantment or whatever. It's always one in a green. It's always one in a
Yes.
green, and it's target, right?
Yes.
So I guess that obviously targeted removal is a little bit better than having your opponent choose what they sacrifice. But you get this in like your starting hand, or you pull this turn 1, turn 2. You draw this turn 1, turn 2. Like if a opponent plays something that you think is going to get out of hand, for 1 green, you're set on an artifact, an enchantment, or a creature with flying. Like this is just, it just does so much for 1 green.
Yeah. Also, too, in green, a lot of removal is like attached to like a creature's, on play effect or whatever.
Like ETB triggers.
Yeah, ETB trigger.
Sure.
And so
Acidic
this being
Slime.
a sorcery is also helpful, that you don't have to waste a creature slot on removal. You can have removal be its own. I don't know. I prefer that.
Yeah, I think, the one maybe drawback, or the thing that maybe pulls away from this being like the greatest common we've ever seen, is the fact that it's a sorcery, not an instant.
Yeah, that's true.
Because obviously if someone plays something crazy early game, you can at instant speed respond to that, be like, yeah, well, let's take care of that right now. So I mean, the fact that it's sorcery speed is a little bit of a bummer, but still, the 1 green pip in the top right corner is just such a draw to me that I'm really excited to throw this in, my green PDH, my Grumgully PDH deck. This is definitely going in for sure. Also, prepare yourself to throw away all your Evolving Wilds, because we now have Escape Tunnel.
Okay.
It is literally just Evolving Wilds, except it's better. It has a secondary effect that is just kind of nuts. It's like Rogue's Passage
What?
with Evolving Wilds staple to it. So yeah, it's a land, and it has the Evolving Wilds ability where you can sack it to search your library for a basic land and put it on the battlefield tapped. But it also has a second mode where you can tap and sack it to give target creature with power 2 or less unblockable until end of turn.
That's nuts.
So it's like, again, it's not crazy, but like it's like power, quote unquote, power creep, like Evolving Wilds, classic mana fixing land. But it's like you get that, plus you can give something unblockable in case you don't need an Evolving Wilds late game. So
that's crazy.
Kind of hilarious. And you know what? This actually, I'm just realizing, target creature with power 2 or less. Right?
Yes.
Let's go back to the Pride of Hull Clade. What's the power on this puppy?
Dang.
215. So beginning of your turn, you play Escape Tunnel. Crack it right away, because Pride of Hull Clade is a 215. So you can target it, give it unblockable, and then you pump your infinite blue mana into its ability.
That's nuts.
Wow. So that's just one example of Escape Tunnel being some utility. You get some utility out of your Evolving Wilds, which I think is just fantastic.
Yeah, this is definitely like, hey, it's already a shark, but now we gave it a gun. So it's a shark with a gun. Like that's what this is. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had to give a shout out to Escape Tunnel here, because it's too cool. Another goofy pull from the previews for Murders at Karlov Manor is Magnetic Snuffler. Yeah, I forgot.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh.
It's like a robotic anteater. I don't think it's very good, but actually it's not bad. I mean, it's 5 mana for a 4/4 construct. The art is so adorable. It's like a little
Yeah, the art sells it for me.
robot anteater that's in this little scenic garden, terrace garden. And so when he ETBs, you return target equipment from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to Magnetic Snuffler. And then whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on Magnetic Snuffler. So, I don't know. Those are two kind of interesting abilities. I wish this was a 4/4 for 4. With these abilities, I think it'd be a little bit more... It might see a little bit of constructed play. I think it's still interesting for equipment decks. But the 5 mana cost, there's so many better spells you can slot into your mana curve. But
that artwork though,
the artwork is just and there's the alt art. I didn't even show you this yet. Look at this.
Oh, that's really cool.
He's so cool.
That's really fun.
It's adorable. I'm a big fan. Let's see. Oh, I've got one last card. It's called Archdruid's Charm. I don't know why I put this here. Oh, actually, hold on. Before we look it up on Scryfall, I know exactly why this is here. Are you ready for this, Luke? This is going to rock.
Oh, I'm ready.
This is going to change Yorvo
Okay.
forever.
Okay.
It's not going to change Yorvo forever. But I think this is the best triple green instant in all of Magic. So Archdruid's Charm is an instant for green, green, green. You choose one. There are 3 modes. Search your library for a creature or land card, reveal it. Put it on the battlefield tapped if it's a land. Otherwise, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So it's a Worldly Tutor for 3. Or you can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It then deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. So
that's nuts.
Removal,
Okay.
fantastic in Yorvo. Or you can exile target artifact or enchantment. So some instant speed removal.
That's amazing.
I think this is another.
That's definitely
card.
going into Yorvo.
Yeah, I mean, feels like it was like made for Yorvo a little bit.
And the artwork's cool.
Yeah. It's another tutor to, go get your win con, go grab that Crater Hoof. If you're later in the game and you've got plenty of mana, it's like, 3 green to go get a Crater Hoof.
I'll do that. If I do.
Yeah, all day, every day. Or you can target Yorvo, put another +1/+1 counter on him, kill another big threat at the table, or exile a problematic artifact or enchantment, like a Rhystic Study or a Smothering Tithe.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, this card is nuts.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to do some more research on this set, but yeah, it seems to be a knockout from what I can see.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited. The previews they've shown have got me really amped up, and I think that they're nailing the kind of flavor and the vibe of it being this murder mystery thing.
Yeah,
and it's not so like you were saying before, it being this kind of like Clue adjacent, like fully encapsulated in this like murder mystery in a house.
Yeah.
So, the name alludes to it being within Karloff Manor, but they've already shown that, there's so much more to like the setting. It's not just a Clue Magic set. It's not all within the house, the murder house. There's weird little robotic anteaters out and about, and big elk, turtle, crocodile, stuff like that. So it's getting me more excited than I think I maybe initially was as well.
Me too.
So should we finally jump to the topic of today's episode?
That was a long housekeeping.
An hour into our show, we're going to finally get to the main topic, but I think that we had to address a few things. There's been a lot that's happened at the beginning of this year already in the world of Magic and in our personal world. So, but yeah, let's jump right into it. So
let's do it.
The main topic is about finding. I had this idea of finding some of the least played commanders according to EDHREC, which polls. For those unfamiliar with EDHREC, it's a fantastic site. If you're getting into Commander and you want to start to build decks, it's honestly the go-to for getting information about a particular commander. So basically, they pull their data from all sorts of different deck building websites. Our preferred one is Moxfield. That's our in-house preferred deck building website, but they also pull from Archidect, MTG Goldfish, EtherHub, Commander Spellbook, Scryfall, and DeckStat. So as far as I'm concerned, I kind of landed on Moxfield and was like, oh, this is it. Like, I love this. I tried a couple different ones out, like Archidect, but they pull from like all the kind of the top deck building sites.
Yeah.
So this is like a pretty comprehensive database of every commander list on the internet,
Yes.
as far as I'm concerned.
Which, by the way, I have no idea how they do that either. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you're on the back end of things, so it's interesting that.
I don't know how they're able to, but they do it somehow.
But yeah, so we wanted to find like commanders with a 0.01% of all decks, according to EDHREC. 0.01% of all deck lists on the internet, meaning incredibly underrated commanders. I think the number equates to about 360 or less decks of that particular commander online. So, like, for example, to kind of put that in perspective, on EDHREC, you can go and look at the top commanders. So the top commanders from the past 2 years, of course, number one is Atraxa, Praetor's Voice. Currently, as of today, has 30,000 deck lists online.
Wow.
Which is crazy. Absolutely insane. And that accounts for...
Also, it's a $16 card, too, so it's not cheap.
No, it is not.
Like in dollars, not just in
Dollar-wise.
mana.
But yeah, this is a classic commander that we've seen for... I think everyone's either played against Atraxa or seen an Atraxa commander deck. It's synonymous with power, and it's an incredibly popular choice for a commander, and understandably so, because for 4 mana, you get a 4/4 that has flying, vigilance, death touch, lifelink, and you get to proliferate it during your end step. So it like does everything. Like
Yeah. Anything you could ever want is in one card.
So yeah, of course this is going to be a popular commander, but it is the number one commander with 0.87% of all deck lists online. So more or less, it's not quite 1%, but think of it this way. Basically, almost 1 in 100 commander decks of the, hundreds of thousands of commander decks, 1 in 100 of them are going to be an Atraxa deck.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, so we wanted to find the opposite. We wanted to find the 0.01%, the underdogs, as Luke put, the hipster commander. You want to find a commander no one else has built, or no one else currently likes, that you can love and enjoy and gatekeep.
Gatekeep, more importantly.
So yeah, we each picked 3. Neither of us know who each of us picked, so I'm eager to hear what Luke picked, and I've got 3 that Luke hopefully didn't pick as well.
Yeah. What if we pick the same ones?
That would be wild, considering how many.
Yeah. What are the odds?
0.01%. There are a few that are like literally 0.0000%.
Yep. I got one of those.
And I actually, so before we jump into this, I used to have the singular deck list for Alharu and Falthis
Heck yeah.
online. I was literally, you'd go to EDHREC, and I would be the one deck.
That's amazing.
And the reason this came about was because I cracked a whole box of Commander Legends, the original one. And obviously when you crack a box of Commander Legends, you get a bunch of partner cards, partner legendary creatures. So in the limited format, you can very easily kind of pick and choose 2 different colors.
Yeah.
And build a limited commander deck.
And this was meant to be drafted too, right? So
yeah.
It
was
gave you
like
more options during a draft.
Exactly. It's a draft commander set, which is super cool. Really cool concept. And so I cracked a bunch of these uncommon partner legendary creatures. And I went to my wife and I was like, hey, pick 2 of these. And she chose Alharu, Solemn Ritualist, which is for 4 and a white. You get a 3/3 human monk. When Alharu enters the battlefield, you put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. And whenever a non-token creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, you create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. And then Falthis Shadowcat Familiar is a 2/2 Nightmare Cat for 2 and a black that has commanders you control have Menace and Death Touch. So again, not the most exciting ability. So most of this deck kind of leans into Alharu's abilities with +1/+1 counters and token creation, creating all these spirits. So there's like some proliferate stuff. There's +1/+1 counter stuff. And then Falthus is mostly there just to give black to the color identity.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously having a couple Death Touchers, like giving Alharu Death Touch is kind of cool for protection, but it's I never really need to cast Falthus in this deck. But yeah, right now there are currently 2 decks. So it's me, and on Moxfield it's Sven Sparks 07. Shout out Sven. We're homies. I liked their deck. They liked my deck. We're now the Alharu Falthus squad.
Nice.
Us 2.
Nice.
But yeah, so we got 2 decks, 0.000%.
Gotta love it.
So, and then yeah, my wife picked these 2 commanders, and we went to the LGS and kind of dug through the bulk bins. She picked out cards she liked the art of. She doesn't play Magic really, but she likes the art, so she picked out a bunch of cards she liked and thought looked cool. And then I kind of curated the list. I picked the ones that made sense to put in Alharu and Falthus, and yeah, we narrowed it down to 100 card singleton list, and my Alharu Falthus Wifey Orzhov deck, as I like to call it,
Oh yeah.
was born. So I was kind of I came up with this idea because I was I got a notification, or I think I was like looking at Alharu and Falthus on EDHREC, and I was like, oh, there's another deck now. I looked it up and I was like, oh, I'm not the only one with this deck. And so I was like, oh yeah, this would be an interesting topic for the podcast, to go find some underrated, or at least the least popular commanders that we should show a little bit of love.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna go back and forth. I'll jump right in with my first pick here.
Let's hear it.
And we have Halfdane, which is from Legends.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna pull this up on Scryfall. I have it. I have all the info for my deck lists in this list. All right, so Halfdane, as I mentioned, was printed originally in Legends, which is the set that introduced legendary creatures and kind of brought this whole EDH idea to life. It gave us a lot of these OG commanders, which turns out not very good.
Yeah.
A lot of them are like
Very bad.
7 mana for like a 2/6 with
Yep.
no other abilities. But Halfdane is actually kind of interesting. Currently, there are only 73 Halfdane lists, equating to 0.002% of all decks online.
That's wild.
So Halfdane is for 1 black, blue, and white. It's an Esper commander, which is kind of cool. I love that this has 3 colors because it gives you a bit more range to work with. Although, when you see what this commander does, you really only need blue
Gotcha.
for this deck. So for 1 white, blue, and black, you get a legendary shapeshifter. At the beginning of your upkeep, you can change Halfdane's base power and toughness to the power and toughness of a target creature other than Halfdane until your next upkeep. And it's a 3/3. So its power toughness is 3/3 when it enters the battlefield. So when you cast it, it's a 3/3. But then during your next upkeep, you can be like, hey, your Yorvo,
My Yorvo. Yeah.
your big 23/23 over there. Yeah, I'm just gonna have Halfdane become that.
Yeah.
So my idea for this deck is it's gonna be kind of Esper control and clones. So you're gonna take all the blue clone cards. We're gonna really lean into that ability and nab all of your opponent's cool stuff on board.
Yeah.
Copy enchantment, the whole 9 yards, not just creatures, but we're just gonna copy everything on board
Yeah.
with good old Halfdane. So I think it's not the strongest ability. There are definitely better like clone copy decks out there, but I think this is just a really kind of fun approach to a deck that probably doesn't get the love that it deserves.
Yeah. Also, it is a legend. It is an OG legendary. So it's like, I know a lot of people will like, as like a feather in their cap, will like build one of the original legendary creatures.
Mhm.
So this could be yours.
Yeah, like I mean, just last night we played a couple games of Commander, and I brought out my Feldegriff Group Hug deck.
Yeah.
And that's Feldegriff has a special place in my heart. And yeah, another Legends OG that I think obviously has a bit more. There are definitely a ton of Feldegriff decks online, but that's the Legends commander that I have in paper and will always have in paper,
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe Halfdane will join the ranks.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
Thanks, man. What's your first
So
commander?
my first one is Mojin of Towering Might. And
Back to his roots.
so his abilities state that so he's pretty big. He's a 8-drop, and he's 3 greens and 5 colorless. And it says Mojin of Towering Might enters the battlefield with an indestructible counter on it if you cast it from your hand. Remove an indestructible counter from it, and you can distribute 8 +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. They gain trample until end of turn. So okay, very very big. So okay, let's. Oh yeah, just some pros. The metal, or the artwork's very metal.
It is.
The artwork is awesome. People look this up at home. Also, great color. It's green. I like that it comes in and it's indestructible. And yeah, I think this is just a really, really cool card. Lots of spice, lots of Riz. But yeah, cons for it is that, yeah, it's super expensive. And here's another funny thing too. Check out the card Arwen Mortal Queen. It's a new card that came from the Lord of the Rings, from the Lord of the Rings set, and it's the same, but it costs 3. So and it costs 1 to use the ability, but it's basically the same. And instead of trample, it's lifelink.
Right. That's really interesting.
But it's the same. So I don't know what was going on there. I don't know why Arwen got, the price reduction and he cost so much. But yeah, no, I mean, okay, so he's expensive, yes. But when you're playing mono green, there's a lot of ramp. There's a lot of ways to get big creatures out in mono green. So that's not the biggest, 8's a lot, but it's not impossible. And then kind of the way I would play this is that I would play him as kind of like a blink. I'd blink him in and out. When I say blink, it's, it's green. So it's not traditional blink, but it's like I would play him, distribute, remove the indestructible counter, distribute, the 8 +1/+1 counters, and then just return him back to hand with, quote unquote green blink, which is things like there are many creatures that say return a creature you own back to your hand.
Sure.
So I would just continually do that. So I'd give all my creatures, I beef up all my creatures, give them trample, swing out, and then bring them back to hand at the end. So that's how I would play him. So again, expensive, but not impossible.
Not impossible. Yeah, the 8 mana price tag is a little steep, and I don't know if you knew this, but this is part of like a Myojin. There's like a whole series of these Myojin for each color, and this is like kind of the revival in the Neon Dynasty Kamigawa set. This is in the Commander that we got one of each color.
And also, for the record, there are only 19 decks of this, and it is 0.001%. So it's I'd say that classifies as a hipster commander.
Oh, 100%. I think I'm pretty sure I have the white Myojin in my Alharu deck.
Okay, cool.
Where it's instead of the +1/+1 counters, it's you create that many spirits.
Yeah.
For each permanent you control. So it comes in with the indestructible counter, but when you remove it, you create that many spirit tokens.
Yeah.
And because it has proliferate, you can proliferate the amount of indestructible counters you have on Myojin of Blooming Dawn. So in a game, I've actually been able to proliferate it twice, remove 3 indestructible counters all at once, and create like 40 spirit creatures.
That's crazy.
Once. And then I used a sack outlet, Viscera Seer, to like dig through my deck.
Yeah.
So there's some of that aristocrat stuff for my Alharu thing. But yeah, the Myojins are super cool. And so I don't know. How do you feel about maybe putting this in paper? Are you interested at all? Or
I built the deck. I built the deck in Moxfield for this, but I don't think I'm going to put it in paper.
Wow. Gotcha.
I maybe I would, but just part of the no whaling. I'm only if I'm 100% sure that I will enjoy a deck am I gonna put in paper. I'm not gonna. I'm no longer willy nilly making decks in paper.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way too. And obviously, you already have Yorvo. You've got your mono green +1/+1 counter deck.
Yeah.
So it's like this is like it. This might end up.
It's another flavor of that.
Yeah. It's another flavor of that, and it might end up in Yorvo one day, or it's like it's kind of in the. It's on the B team. It's on the B squad for your Yorvo list. Is kind of where I'd imagine this might fall.
Yeah, let's just say I'd put this card in Yorvo before I would make this a deck.
Exactly.
Probably.
That makes sense.
All right, let's hear number 2.
All right, yeah. So you mentioned Eowyn. So you mentioned a Lord of the Rings commander.
Yeah.
And I actually am going to do Éomer, King of Rohan.
Okay.
So this is a Boros commander. For 3 red and white, you get a 2/2 human noble. So for 5 mana, you get a 2/2 with double strike. But this one gets really interesting. So Éomer has 241 deck lists, so 0.007% of all lists. I think that's in part due to it being new. So obviously, a lot of these newer commanders aren't going to be as many lists online. So I can foresee Éomer gaining more lists over time because I think his mechanic is so fun. So you get, like I was saying, you get a 2/2 human noble with double strike. Éomer enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each other human you control. And also when he enters the battlefield, target player becomes the monarch, and Éomer deals damage equal to its power to any target. So this has this one card has 3 ETB triggers, which that alone is super fascinating to me.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter for each other human you control. So you obviously want to go super, super wide on human creature tokens and creatures in general. So this is like a human tribal, human typal deck. So you want them to ETB like as buff as possible, basically.
Yeah.
But when he ETBs, you also deal damage equal to his power to any target. And it's Éomer deals damage. So that's commander damage.
Oh.
So my goal with Éomer is we go as wide as possible.
Yeah.
He ETBs, let's say there's 11, 12 humans. That's not, unreasonable to get there. So that's 12 damage from him that you can just put into the face of, like, your opponent.
Yeah.
12 commander damage, boom.
See you later.
Then you cast an Ephemerate for 1 white mana. You blink him. He ETBs again. Another 12 damage, boom. 1 shot. 1 shot with Éomer.
That's messed
So this is going to be... And this I might genuinely put in paper. I think it's so fascinating.
Okay.
Boros, obviously not strong, but this is kind of a gimmicky commander anyways. But I think there's a lot of potential here. We got a ton of human support through Lord of the Rings. I think red, white, obviously that's Boros is a great kind of human tribal color combo to be in. And I just think it's so funny to blink this Lord of the Rings King of Rohan to one-shot opponents in Commander.
That's nuts.
Like, it's just so strange.
That's crazy.
And I think I want to try to put this in paper because it's so weird.
Yeah, why not?
And really, really fun.
Also, I feel like a lot of the support cards for this, like, this would actually probably be a pretty budget deck. Like, totally. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, you just want to put a bunch of human soldiers out there.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of populate triggers, a lot of just create as many human tokens as possible. So
there is also a lot of human synergy if you want to go that route too, to like make more tokens to increase the width of your board. So yeah, I'm down. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I know.
Sounds cool.
I was looking at the underrated, least popular Boros commanders, and this one just stood out to me. And I'm like, this feels like it could be something kind of fun. So who knows? I'll keep you guys posted if Éomer ever hits the table. But this is definitely a really, really interesting commander that is more than deserving of having more than 0.007% of all decks.
Oh, 100%.
Who's up next for you, Luke?
So my second one is Saramaro First to Dream. It is first. It's another 6-drop. It's 2 blue and 4 colorless, and it's a flying creature that says its power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand. And then for 4 mana, you can return a land you control to its owner's hand and draw a card. But I mean, we're not using that ability. Like that's a very specific, expensive ability. But yeah, so here are kind of the pros for it. That artwork is absolutely awesome.
Extremely good. And this is from Saviors of Kamigawa too. So anything Kamigawa block, the art's gonna be fire.
Yeah. And it's like, if like for those who are like listening, like he's got like a bowl with like water pouring out of it, and then behind him is like a waterfall with like buildings on top of it. It's just really cool. It's the artwork I was just blown away by. Also, 2, it's mono blue, which I love. Also, 2, it's a flying creature, which is like kind of an underrated commander situation. Okay, cons for it. Yeah, it's expensive. It's a 6-drop again. Yeah. That's and also it's blue, so it's like you're gonna have a tougher time ramping
sure.
in blue than you would in green. Also, 2, the land removal thing is kind of weird. You can bring it back to your hand and draw a card. That's kind of specific.
Mm-hmm.
But no, just the fact that you have a flying commander that its toughness and power are equal to the number of cards in your hand in blue, I think is really good. And so, in blue, there are so many different ways to draw cards
mm-hmm.
and, have a crazy, insane hand. Sure. And then also there's so many blue, like you have no maximum hand limit cards, like Thought
mm-hmm.
Vessel or Reliquate Tower. So it's very easy in blue to get a big hand. And so basically the idea behind this commander is that you get the biggest hand possible. And then also, because again, it'll be, it's a flying creature. So if you, have any people you're playing against, that's free commander damage. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, I dig it. I think this would be a really interesting commander to build. Obviously, having the sub theme of just card draw, and builds other win cons around having wheel effects. Like there are other like drawing cards and building Soramaru's power. Obviously huge, and it would be super fun to swing out and kill someone with commander damage. But yeah, mono blue draw is a common enough archetype that you could build a functional deck around this for sure.
Yeah. So that was and I'm actually currently building a I don't know if I'm gonna ever put it in paper, but I am building a like card draw, I guess quasi group hug deck, and I came across this creature during the search, and I was like, oh man, I kind of want to make that the commander. But
well, it's kind of like how you do with your mono blue artifact deck. You've got like 4 or 5 different commanders in there that you can kind of interchange. So I can see this being in your Kami deck, because you're gonna be drawing a ton of cards anyways. So even if this is just in the 99, like that's super cool, and you can swap them back and forth.
That's kind of the idea.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a little, I saw this and I was like, oh man, I kind of want to make this. So what's your final one?
All right, final one. Name alone, super awesome. His name is Orcus, Prince of Undeath.
Oh my gosh! Wait, isn't that the guy from Elden Ring that you fight, who rides a horse? Radadon, right? Radon.
It does. Honestly, this would be a good. This is kind of Radon-esque. And honestly, his abilities feel kind of like Radon. Obviously, he's got flying, which isn't Radon, but I can see
come on. He jumps into the sky and then comes back down. That's kind of flying.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. So, like, he's got an ETB effect, and one of it is it deals a bunch of damage to something. So it's kind of like Radon coming in, crashing down.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Orcus, Prince of Undeath, has currently 239 decks, so another 0.007%er.
A classic.
It is a legendary demon for X, 2 black, red. One of the strangest, mana costs for a commander. But I love
very specific.
Love commanders with X in the mana cost because it's just so unique in having something that ETBs and immediately has a modal effect impacted by the amount of mana you pump into it is just really interesting to me.
Okay.
So yeah, for X2 black and red, you get a 5/3 flying trample demon. And when Orcus enters the battlefield, you choose one. Either each other creature gets -X until end of turn, and you lose X life, or return up to X target creature cards with total mana value X or less from the graveyard to the battlefield, and they gain haste until end of turn.
Okay.
Both of those
That's
effects
so
are
good, dude.
so cool, and opens Orcus up to a whole lot of different ways you could go into this, right?
Yeah.
Like I could see this just being kind of a burn deck. You losing life. There's effects in Rakdos and black and red where that care about the amount of life you've lost each turn. So this just casting this, losing a bunch of life, wiping the board otherwise, and also being able to play off of that life loss is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And then the second effect is just so sick. If you can like somehow create a ton of mana, lean into the self mill, put a bunch of cool stuff into your graveyard, or even just like looting with red, looting effects, mill effects, filling your graveyard with a ton of cool stuff, and then late game casting Orcus and gaining all that stuff. They all gain haste.
Yeah.
Just so cool. Obviously the cost, I think X and 4 is kind of expensive, right?
Yeah.
But I think there are ways of kind of getting around that. And
yeah, in Commander, there are so many ways to get extra mana. Like I'm not like I'm honestly, especially too, as like an ETB effect like this, you know. Yeah, I'm not concerned that you'll be able to play him.
Yeah, I can see him being an interesting mid game like board wipe / life loss effect.
Yeah,
to allow you to go into like big cast other big bombs for free off of Rowan or something like that, or just straight up late game end to late game be like, yeah, I'm bringing in Orcus and also his Army of the Dead from my graveyard type thing. So again, another really, really cool one. I might build this I'll at least build this on Moxfield. I think of the 3 I brought, Halfdane, Eomer, and Orcus, I think Eomer is probably the one I would actually put in paper. I think is really interesting.
Yeah.
But Orcus feels kind of special too. I gotta think on Orcus a little bit more than I do Eomer. Eomer kind of builds himself a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'd like to. I kind of want to meditate on Orcus. And
give it a little thought.
Give it a little thought because I think sleep on it. I think there might be an interesting win con here with Orcus, and at the very least, like you said, he's the Radon of Magic the Gathering. So I'm all about that action.
Yeah. Let's go.
All right, let's cap her off here, Luke. Who's your number 3?
All right, I got an honorable mention, and then I got my final one.
Okay.
So my honorable mention, it has 5 decks, and it literally has 0.000%.
Okay.
And it's a new commander. It's Clara Oswald from the set, the Doctor Who set. And I just want to bring this up because no lie, this is this card's ability. It is called Impossible Girl, which states that she can basically be any color you want. But I just want to bring this up. There's a commander. They are printing a card whose ability is called Impossible Girl, and I hate that. I just like that. I read that and I was just I don't know. Jenna Coleman, the actress, super cute. I'm a big fan of that. But outside of that, Impossible Girl, come on, you're killing me. Magic, Wizards, what are you doing? I don't like it. Okay, all right. My actual last one is called Cloudhoof Kieran, which is a cost for 2 blue and 3 colorless. It's a flying creature that says whenever you play a spirit or arcane spell, you may put the top X cards of a target player's library in his or her graveyard, where X is this spell's converted mana cost. So, okay, again, crazy art. the coolest art, maybe.
Yeah, you're just all in with Kamigawa.
Honestly,
All-
like I don't
you
know what
did-
it is, guys.
You're building a mono blue Kamigawa deck, is what you did.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I basically just looked at one set. But no, it's got amazing artwork, absolutely insane. And basically what came about was that I was curious because Bruvok is reprinted in Ravnica Remastered. And so I've been kind of just messing around with, is mill possible in Commander? And this card came up because it basically says that when it's basically a way to mill out opponents. And this is a deck I would never build in paper because in my opinion I don't think mill is very fun to do to your friends. But between this card, between Bruvok and other artifacts and other creatures, especially in blue, you can also like kind of mill out people too with card draw. That's another thing as well. You can just make your friends continually draw cards, and then they have to, unless they have a no maximum hand size artifact or enchantment or something, like you can basically mill people out. And so yeah, this is a pseudo milling commander that looks really cool, and also it's got flying, so you can kind of jump over. You can even use it to attack. And also there are many spirits in blue. So it synergizes very well. So yeah, that's my last one. What do you got?
Yeah, this is interesting. Cloudhoof Kieran. Yeah, the art, like you said, is super cool. And yeah, Spirit Tribal Mill deck, kind of unique.
Yeah.
Makes sense why there's only 76 of these decks for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, it would definitely be a unique build. Like I can't imagine too many other people approaching this and being like, yeah, let's do it. Let's just go all in. Let's build a mill deck with Cloudhoof Kieran.
Yeah, because it's there's also in blue, there's a lot of ways to get off, like there are a lot of sorceries and instances that are like 5 5 drop, and you can kind of get those out in blue in without paying the full 5. So you could even I was even thinking about ways of being able to play big spells and then making your opponents with Bruvok out double. So let's say you drop you play a 5 mana sorcery, Bruvok makes them mill 10, and that's a 10th of your deck. So I don't know. I just thought it was a very weird way to go about milling, and I was kind of curious with Bruvok's arrival in Ravnica of how to actually potentially do that. So that was my final one.
Cool. Yeah, that's interesting. I think a lot of people lean into self mill. Obviously, the Thassa's Oracle combo being huge, but yeah, I don't know. This is milling out your opponents, like you said, maybe not the most fun.
Yeah,
but also
I never do this. Yeah,
it's also dangerous too, because the graveyard matters decks are gonna love this and kill you with it if you aren't careful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's
a thought experiment. Nothing in paper, but
yeah. I just love that you chose not just 3 Kamigawa block commanders, but they're all mono blue, which is that's the wave you're riding right now. That you're on.
Well, hey, I had a green one. I had a mono green, my first one.
Oh, that's true. Not all 3 of them were blue, but yeah, you've got your mono colored, your 2 favorite colors, mono green and mono blue. I love that those were represented here.
Yep.
In true Luke fashion. So heck yeah. But yeah, those are our picks. I think of the 3 I chose, I would pick Eomer if I had to build one. If you had to build one, which of those 3 would you pick?
I would probably the Suramaro First to Dream would definitely be the one I would make in paper.
Cool. Yeah, I mean it makes sense. You're already building the Kami of the Crescent Moon. They're interchangeable. You've already basically got that deck down anyways. So Soromaru might as well just make an appearance and maybe take the helm every once in a while.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, exactly.
Sweet. Well, I'm excited to see it. Man.
Yeah, likewise.
But yeah, those are our, we picked 3 each. Those are our least favorite, our most beloved underrated commanders.
Yep.
Please let us know. Reach out to us. Who would you pick? Go in. This has been such a fun thought experiment, like you said. Just go in, find some like underrated, underloved commanders, and just think about them.
Also, for the record, too, all of those cards that we pointed out were all like 25 cents.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so it's
right.
like very, very doable, you know, very, very obtainable.
Yeah. With the exception of Half Dane, I think he's like a $40 card.
Oh, really? Okay.
Just because he's from Legends. Like it's one of those just rarity
Yeah.
things, scarcity rarity things that, you know, if he got reprinted today, he would definitely be like a 10-cent
Yeah.
card,
Oh, yeah.
dollar card. But yeah, so I think we're going to wrap up here. Let's do our tradition of a Scryfall random spirit creature of the week.
Okay.
How do you feel?
Let's do it. Let's let it rock.
All right, let's I've got Scryfall random at the ready, and let's see what we come up with.
And it's a creature, right? Yeah.
Yep, whatever the first creature, and we each get one free mulligan. That is
One for
an important rule to point out. We each get one free mulligan.
Okay.
So I've got mine. Who are you at the ready here?
Let's do it. Wait, let's do this. I'm getting a Scryfall now. You go ahead first.
Okay. And now I don't know. Upon first look, I don't know if I'm gonna mulligan this yet, but let's just jump right into it. So my Scryfall random spirit creature of the week is Nakadal Hunt Pride,
Okay.
which for 5 and a white, you get a 5/4 cat warrior with vigilance. And it's got 2 activated abilities. For 1 red and tap, target creature can't block this turn. Or for 1 green and tap, target creature blocks this turn if able. And it has the flavor text, we must hunt and kill the dragon before it can return to raise our ancient city. And the art is super cool. It's got this kind of like band of, you know, these badass Nakadal warriors perched on some rocks with a dragon in the background that they're gonna hunt down.
Very stoic.
Yeah, very, very stoic. This just feels very just like Skyrim high fantasy type vibes. That
Khajiit.
Yep, Khajiit type stuff. Originally printed in Conflux at Uncommon. So I would not be surprised if there are a couple PDH lists of Nakadal, because it's Naya. It's white, red, and green.
Yeah.
So you could do like a Naya good pile type thing and just have this 5/4 vigilance is not bad. And then if you got some other big beasties, you can cause your opponents to have to block with their creatures, some of your bigger creatures, your bigger threats, or also force some of your stuff through by causing their creatures to be unable to block this turn.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's bad at all. I think I bet there are some PDH lists for this card.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna ride with this one. I'm not gonna take my mulligan this week. I think I'm gonna Nakadal Hunt Pride is gonna be my spirit animal, my spirit creature. So
yeah,
right.
I like it.
How about you?
I got a good one here that I'm also gonna keep. Giant oyster. You know, it's that kind of week, guys.
Oh my gosh!
It's a oyster creature, and it says you may choose not to untap giant oyster during your untap step, and then you can tap it. And it says as long as giant oyster remains tapped, target tapped creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. And at the beginning of each of your draw steps, put a -1/-1 counter on that creature. When giant oyster leaves play or becomes untapped, remove all -1 counters from that creature.
Wow.
It's very specific, but I just like the artwork. Looks kind of questionable. It comes from Homelands, that's set
Oh, I love Homelands.
a million years ago.
Shout out Joven. Joven.
Joven, it's where he came from. Yeah, I just, you know what? I'm digging this old artwork. I'm digging this, you know, old Riz. I'll stick with this one. Horrible ability though.
I think it's kind of fun. I'm not gonna even lie. I think this is really, really fun. It's not great for 4 mana. You have to.
Horrible.
You also, unless you can't, you know, unless you can put haste on this bad boy. It's basically like 4 to 5 turns before you can even activate this pretty mid ability.
Oh, also we forgot to bring up. It's a 0/3.
Yeah, it's an 0/3 for 4.
For 4.
But I just love that it's flavorful. It's a giant oyster that clamps down on a creature and slowly but surely kills it.
Yeah.
and shuts it down. So if there's a big threat at the table, like you could play Giant Oyster Control for a PDH deck.
Yeah, you could.
And I think that's so cool. I think that is
Oh, I'm here for it.
so sick. And this was it got reprinted in Time Spiral, originally from Homelands. And I might just have to go pick up a foil printing of this and put together a
Yeah.
Giant Oyster Control list. So ridiculous. And the art by Nicola Leonard. Wow. That is something.
That's some questionable art,
That
my
is some
friends.
questionable art. Please go look this up. Giant Oyster for Luke. The
Definitely made with some colored pencils.
Yeah. Giant Oyster for Luke, that's his spirit. Scryfall Spirit Creature of the Week. I've got Nakatl Hunt Pride. And I think that's how we ride out. So be sure to answer this week's community poll in the episode description, which is which 0.01% commander would you build? Could be in paper, could be on Moxfield, but I highly encourage you to go and do what we did. Find an underrated commander. Find your hipster commander that you can grow to love, and let us know which one you pick. Thanks to our sponsors. We currently have none. If you'd like to sponsor the show, please reach out to us via email at wilddogspodcast@gmail.com. And thank you for listening to the show. Connect with us through Twitter or Instagram at wilddogspod and over on Discord, which you are invited to in the episode description. Finally, thanks to Johnny Bartlett for creating the intro and outro music. Please check out the link to his SoundCloud, which is also in the episode description. Until next time, the Wild Dogs will roam free.
Thank you, everyone.
Magic the Gathering.
Magic, 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 I'm so magic.
Gathering magic.
Spend a lot of money on cards.
Playing cool cards with my friends.